Hi, you might be wondering, why are you wearing a jacket in the house? And that's a great question. Today I'm going to be talking about something very simple that it really doesn't need its own video, but I don't know, I can't stop thinking about it. I've definitely seen Scream like 1,000,001 times. I know it like the back of my hand, but this most recent time that I watched it, I noticed something that I didn't notice before, and I don't know, I can't get it out of my brain, and I really just wanted to talk about it. Before I started recording, I just wanted to make sure that I was saying Skeet's name correctly, because I always thought it was Skeet Ulrich, and Google just told me it was Skeet Ulrich, and then I clicked on a video that was interviewing Skeet, and he said Skeet Ulrich. So get your shit together, Google. At this point, skip if you've never seen Scream, and or stop watching if you haven't seen Scream. And if you haven't seen Scream, it's okay, it's fine. It's just a little bit weird, but it's whatever. Scream is a film that needs no introduction. It broke ground as a refreshing take on slasher films that also doubled as being satirical and meta before meta got a little annoying. This is not the first time I've spoken a bit about Scream. It seems like every year I've got something to say about it. What's the thing this year that has ingrained itself so deeply in my brain that I think it's remotely necessary to make a video about it? Is it the lifelike misogyny of Stu?
Casey and Steve were completely hollowed out. And the fact is, it takes a man to do something like that.
No, and Veronica Phillips did that already. Is it Sidney Prescott revolutionizing the reevaluation on who gets to be a final girl? No, but she kinda did, and someone should talk about it at some point. No, guys, the thing that I'm interrupting your day for is Skeet Ulrich's performance as Billy Loomis. I'm not going to talk about method acting or compare him to, I don't know, Marlon Brando. Actually, I don't even think I know how to evaluate acting, period. I want to talk about his eyes. And not even his eyes throughout the whole movie. I want to talk about his eyes in one fucking scene. There is an integral scene fairly early on in Scream where Sidney Prescott is convinced that her boyfriend Billy is Ghostface, a feeling that she would find out to be justified. Ghostface is chasing her around her house, she's trapped in her room, she gets in touch with the police, and suddenly realizes Ghostface is gone. And with suspicious timing, her boyfriend Billy has arrived. Billy's presence doesn't set off any alarm bells right away. It's not until he drops his mobile phone that Sidney suspects him, and she hauls ass out of there. The following scenes consist of Billy trying to convince everyone and Sidney that he didn't do it, that he just happened to be there. The police can't hold him and he's released from jail. He sees Sidney at school, and it's this scene that I am obsessing over. So at this point, we as an audience aren't entirely convinced that Billy is the killer. Billy was in jail and Sidney got a call from Ghostface. How could he pull something like that off behind bars? And after they see each other at school, Sidney goes into the bathroom and Ghostface is there. Could Billy have really followed her and changed into his costume that quickly?
Yes, he could.
But this scene where they talk about their relationship, basically where Billy's being an inconsiderate horn dog and Sidney's like, sorry, I don't feel like riding some dick when I'm still kind of grieving heavily, bro. This scene is a little hint to us, the audience. This is where Wes Craven pulls back the curtain a little. We get peeks of Billy's villainy in earlier scenes, like in this one where he says,
I didn't kill anybody. Nobody said you did.
With heavy emphasis on that.
You did.
You heard that?
Thanks, buddy.
In this scene though, it's not so much what Billy says as it is how he says it, and what Skeet Ulrich is doing with his eyes in this scene. When he says, couldn't have been me, I was in jail, and he looks behind Sidney where we know Stu is standing or at least walking away. And okay, I exaggerated a little because Billy does blink in this scene, but I think it's notable that every time he does it, it's almost like he's forcing himself to do it, forcing himself to be human. Neve Campbell is blinking a lot in this scene, blinking away tears, blinking because she's just flustered, whereas Skeet plays it very controlled. Not just controlled, but too controlled. He wants us to know Billy is the killer right here. He's double acting. Whenever you want to show someone you're interested in them or make them comfortable around you, the thing you go for is eye contact, but not as intense as this one. Billy's unwavering eye contact is not comforting, it's unsettling, and that's the little hint that both Wes Craven and Skeet Ulrich wanted to get across in the scene, to let us know, maybe Sidney is onto something, because everyone around around her thinks she's being so ridiculous. Oh, Billy couldn't have ever done that. It definitely wasn't Billy. You're just freaking out. Then when she goes to the bathroom, those girls are being just a bunch of see you next Tuesdays. And this scene is almost like a defense of Sydney. Like maybe she's onto something. We don't know yet. When we talk about Scream, we talk about where it stands in like postmodern slashers, its significance in Wes Craven's filmography, its significance to the slashers that came after it that wanted to be Scream. I don't think we talk enough about some of the performances though. I think this is a really great decision on Skeet's part, and it's just brilliant. It does so much for Billy's character and for the reveal. So much tension is being built from this one scene alone, where you are unknowingly being unsettled until you get to the end and you're like, oh shit, that's why. Also, does Neve Campbell get enough credit for her performance in this movie? I mean, I know she's Sidney Prescott, she's the center of it all, she's holding it together. That's true, I totally get it, I respect it.
This bitch boss. 96 Neve Campbell, the TV set on your face shit.
But do we talk about her performances enough? Especially in this movie, the emotional turmoil she's going through, it's just so well executed on her part. Yeah. That's really all I want to talk about, were his eyes in this scene. I mean, there's more I could say about his eye acting throughout the whole movie because it does get more intense as the story goes on, but this scene I think is just very pivotal to Billy's villain status, I guess.